right now on News Channel 5.
Right now, this Lake Worth mother is behind bars. Police telling us she got high on the drug flakka, a synthetic drug that can trigger bizarre outbursts in behavior, and lost track of her one-year-old.
Police found that one-year-old outside an office building near a busy road. News Channel 5's Katie Johnson is live in Boynton Beach with the details. Katie?
Kelly, right now that baby is in the care of foster parents. She and her mother, Kushana Doby, had quite a busy night, according to what Doby told police. It all started around 8 o'clock last night. Doby was at a friend's house where she admits she smoked the drug flakka. They then went to a hotel before coming here to this Walmart off of Federal Highway. The next thing Doby says she remembers was falling asleep in front of that Dunkin' Donuts. Her baby found right next door at this office building, all by herself. Now, police booked Doby into the Palm Beach County Jail this afternoon on child neglect charges. According to Boynton Beach police, she admitted she regularly smokes flakka. She says she doesn't remember getting separated from her child, telling police she ran to Walmart first after waking up in front of Dunkin' Donuts. Doby says she then saw the police lights outside of the office building, and that's when she ran over, screaming for her baby. We spoke to a nurse who works in that building. He says he was surprised to see police outside of where he works, but not surprised to hear how this drug caused the 20-year-old to react.
Unfortunately, the negative effects of drugs drive good people to do really careless, terrible things.
And a very scary situation happening near a very busy roadway. Both GCF and Boynton Beach police are investigating. Police refuse to talk to us on camera, but tell us this is the first flakka case that they have responded to. Coming up at 6, hear the increasing concern about this drug and the effects that it's having. Live in Boynton Beach, Katie Johnson, WPTV News Channel 5.
Tonight, there's fear in a Jupiter neighborhood. This after the murder of an 18-year-old, the victim of a possible hate crime. It's happening in Jupiter, where police say the teenager was killed by 3 men who may have targeted him because he is Guatemalan. News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers live now in Jupiter, where residents today came face-to-face with the police chief. Tanya?
Well, so many residents packed the El Sol Resource Center, which is right behind me, some of them fearing that there could be another attack or they could actually end up being one of the victims. The Jupiter police chief requested television cameras not record the meeting. But these pictures show the dozens of men, women, and even babies at the meeting. Residents expressed fear after a murder on April 18th. Police say Onesimo Marcelino Lopez Ramos was murdered. 3 people are now in jail, with police saying the victim may have been targeted. Hispanic residents worry they could be victims. Today, they asked the police chief about their safety, if there are gang members in their neighborhood, and if they report a crime, will they be deported? The police chief told them no one should be a victim, which some found reassuring.
This is a very good thing because the people know what's happening when something is wrong on this situation. The people many things don't call and don't do nothing. Step too silent and don't say nothing about the situation. Know that whole people reported the whole things happens. And today I feel very comfortable.
Now, they say that this is one step in rebuilding the friendship and the relationship between the police department and the Hispanic community. They even have a fun event which is planned for mid-May, which the community is invited to come to. Now, they talked about other things, maybe looking at future meetings, which the police chief said if the community would like that, he said he will definitely be for that and be a part of that meeting. El Sol kind of being the in-between. They're also thinking about placing a box where people, as you normally use at work, and putting suggestions. They've thought about actually placing a box inside the building where people can report certain crimes or certain situations that are happening in the community if they want to remain anonymous. Reporting live, Tanya Rogers, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, Storm Team 5 with South Florida's most accurate weather forecast.
Cool front sweeping across South Florida this afternoon. We're getting a little bit of a taste of things to come as we're fighting to hit 80 degrees. A lot of spots didn't even do that today. Rain free now. We had earlier showers on the Treasure Coast and then eventually into Palm Beach County. Nothing significant, certainly nothing like the last few days. And there's a very slight shower chance tonight. Nothing that's going to really put a damper on your outdoor plans. Current temperatures are in the mid to high 70s, looking nice. And the hour by our forecast tonight, clearing everywhere. We still have a lot of cloud cover around Palm Beach County south, but clearing and cooler. I'll let you know how long this little cool down will last coming up.
Right now, a grandmother testifies on behalf of the 14-year-old Port St. Lucie boy convicted in a murder-for-hire plot directed at his family. He never made good on the threat against his parents, but now faces sentencing that will include wide-ranging testimony. Megan McRoberts is live outside the St. Lucie County Courthouse with more. Megan?
Michael, that teenager's attorney has been working to paint a picture that this teenager has had a rough life. He lived in an unloving home. He was unhappy, even scared to go home. And also inside the courtroom today, we're hearing from the boy's grandmother on the phone from Pennsylvania, where she says the boy's father and stepmother cut off communication between the two, though the boy wanted to see her and he did not want to live here in Florida with his father and stepmother. The 14-year-old has been found guilty of trying to hire someone to kill his father, stepmom, and stepbrother. Today, the state has recommended probation for the teenager. While speaking with the grandmother, the defense has asked her if she would be willing to take in the teen instead of him ending up in another living situation such as foster care. Asking if the boy is given probation, would she be able to provide him access to mental health services? And does she have other family around that could help him? And she said, yes, she does. She seemed willing to take him in. We are still waiting to hear from a few more witnesses. But if a judge does decide to allow that teenager to move to Pennsylvania, it seems he could be getting what he wanted all along. We're going to have much more on this coming up on News Channel 5 at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Fort Pierce, Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
A candlelight vigil tonight to bring awareness to the search for the person who shot and killed this 2-year-old girl. Police are asking for donations to increase the current $10,000 reward for information on the killer of Michaela Burks. The police department says it needs people to come forward with information. That vigil will be held at 7 o'clock across from the Willie B. Ellis substation. Some nursing students are speaking out against the Palm Beach County school, claiming that the school is taking their money and not preparing them for the job. It's happening at the Academy for Nursing and Health Occupation in West Palm Beach. That's where News Channel 5's Brian Enton spoke to almost a dozen students. Brian?
Kelly, students at this school called us upset that they say they have spent about $21,000 on tuition to become a registered nurse, and they say this school behind me is setting them up to fail. They say it is not what they expected when they signed up for classes here. They're not being prepared for tests, and they say barely anyone is passing. And administrators here would not talk to us about the students' concerns, but pointed out that they have a 93% graduation rate posted on their website. Students here say those numbers do not represent what is really going on.
We don't just want to complete the program. We want to be good nurses. We want to be able to say when your loved one enter a hospital or we come to home for home health, that you're getting a good caliber of nurse.
I want the school to know that they cannot continue to treat people this way, charging us this amount of money and then just treat us any kind of way and don't expect us to say anything.
The school's been around for nearly 30 years and is accredited by the state. We found out a lot more as part of our investigation today. Coming up at 6 o'clock, you'll hear from more students about problems they say that are happening here, and you'll find out what happened when we went looking for answers. Live in West Palm Beach, Brian Enton, WPTV News Channel 5.
Today is the last day to sign up for health insurance under the special tax filing enrollment extension. That extension is for uninsured consumers who did not realize they would be fined for not having health coverage under the Affordable Care Act. Individuals not covered will have to pay roughly $325 or 2% of their income, whichever's higher. After today, consumers will have to wait until the fall to buy insurance unless they have a life-changing event such as getting married, moving, or giving birth. Starting Monday, more water from Lake Okeechobee that is sparking the latest toxic algae bloom will be discharged into the St. Lucie River.
News Channel 5's Jamel Anay is here now with how that's going to work. Jamel?
Well, officials say the recent rain has caused the lake to rise. Authorities say that starting today or tomorrow, they will allow a limited amount of stormwater runoff from the St. Lucie Canal to drain into the St. Lucie River. Now, on Monday, officials will increase the flow through the dam's gates to 581 million gallons per day. They believe the algae will dissipate when it hits the salty water in the river. Now, authorities say they have concerns about the lake's levels with what has been a wet April leading into a rainy season. Now, officials, they halted discharges from Lake Okeechobee last week after toxic algae blooms were discovered. Right now, levels are sitting at almost 14 feet. Officials like to keep those levels somewhere between 12 to 15. And at this time, there's no word on how long the Corps will plan to keep those discharges going. Reporting live in the studio, Jamel Lene, WPTV News Channel 5.
In the feed room right now, Baltimore police say nearly 100 officers have been injured since the violence erupted on Monday in that city, and more than half of those detained from the violence have been released without any charges filed. People in the city are now upset over the death of Freddie Gray. That's what triggered all of this, who suffered critical injuries while he was in police custody. Now, Baltimore police say their investigation into the death of Gray has revealed a new stop that police van made while transporting him. Police did not say whether anything happened during the stop or why it was made. Gray suffered a critical spinal injury at some point during his arrest and died a week later. Reporting from the feed room, I'm Jay Cashmere. Back to you.
Jay, thank you. A teenage boy pulled alive from the rubble of a collapsed building in Nepal's capital 5 days after that devastating earthquake hit that country. The dramatic rescue comes as the official death toll rises to more than 5,500 people. The boy pulled from a small hole, covered in dust, but conscious, immediately put on a blackboard, given water and an IV before being placed in an ambulance.
A wily dog getting a lot of attention at Palm Beach International Airport. We'll explain why.
The gates are open for Phase 2 of Sunfest. Johnny Morton Band playing right now. Coming up, I'm James Whelan. I'm going to have a live forecast and let you know what Sunfest has to offer this year.
And all new at 5:30, our consumer watchdog first exposed the confusing signs for gas prices. Now, more confusion as new rules take effect.
Change is in the air. We're helping you plan for tonight and the weekend. Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Steve Weagle has your most accurate weather forecast in minutes.